Forgotten memories, they go unseen. They don't mind if they fail or achieve something. Remembered voices, they can burn a hole in your heart. I might just prefer the mystery. I might just prefer the mystery. Hello, Jacob.
Sam, how are you?
Good. Thanks for queuing up all this music stuff. And that was Colors of the Highway. We're here to talk about some stuff from the record, some stories from the studio, and we're going to do 5 and 5. So I'm going to ask him 5 questions, and Jacob is going to ask me 5. But we're going to flip a coin to determine if it is going to be a ridiculous question, heads, or a pretty serious question, tails. All right. So ridiculous or serious? Do you want to go first,
Sure.
Jacob?
Yeah, I'm game.
All right. I'm gonna flip it. Let's see if I can remember how to flip a coin.
The coin.
Oh, serious. You got a serious question.
Yeah, I do have a serious question. What is your, right now, because I know it probably changes, what's your favorite lyric in the record?
That's fairly easy. For some reason, it's always been in Colors of the Highway, which it conveniently you just played. The hand that feeds it moves so innocently, doubles as a fist that's coming back on me, but it will light my way through the darkest of hours. So every time I sing that, it feels just so relevant in so many ways. So it's like, it's a never fading lyric, you know. Ready? Oh, ridiculous question.
Okay.
I got words. Dang. All right. What was when you think back on our time in the studio, what was one of your favorite trinkets that you remember?
The Hall of Justice is filled with so many cool little weird magical knickknacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Musical and otherwise. And I remember the first time we went into the studio in the fall, there was like a little gilded eagle, right? Like a tiny little guy just like hanging around, perched up, looking at what you're doing and what you're
I
trying.
knew you were going to say the eagle.
Totally. And then we were in a thrift store in California, in Santa Barbara, and you bought a little owl, right, to live on the tour bus when we were. I think we were gonna prank Josh from Brandy's.
Yeah.
Right.
Josh doesn't like what is he calls them cheshkalas.
Yeah. So we were on a Chechkala search. So the owl made it through a tour and made it either into your suitcase or my suitcase, and then finally came to live at Hall of Justice when we went back in the summertime. So then we had little eagle guy and little owl.
Little owl guy. Yep, I knew you were gonna say that owl or the eagle. The like, wasn't it a sparkly, glittery eagle?
Yeah, I have a picture of it somewhere. I'll have to send you.
Cool. That's strangely, not that you're asking me, but that was mine as well. Alongside the little alligator.
Whoa, what alligator? I don't remember that.
It's just a green alligator on a piece of paper. I mean, there's so many. I could like list off 10 of them, but it's not my question, so I won't.
What was your favorite song to skate to roller rink?
Oh man, that's such a great.
When like it's an all skate, they call all skate, and everybody comes onto the floor, and the DJ plays a song, and everybody's skating, and you're like holding hands with your friends, and the song is.
Oh man, so many just popped into my head. I mean, the first thing that popped in my head was Backstreet Boys.
All right.
Backstreet's back. All right. Throw your hands up in the air. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Wave around like you just don't care. All right, all right.
I'm more of an NSYNC guy myself.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, totally.
Dang, no way. It's
JT,
definitely like two very separate groups of people.
JC Chauvet, you know? Wow. And you let me make your record.
You like NSYNC and you produced my record? That's crazy. We should have talked about that.
Our marionette video is coming soon.
I'm getting the hang of this thing. A heads, so you know.
More ridiculous?
Yeah.
Okay, here's a ridiculous question about your record. Which song on your record is Peanut Butter, and which song on your record is Jelly?
Dang. All right, I'm going with my gut.
This question.
My gut is Peanut Butter, Delane.
Okay.
Jelly, Colors of the Highway. That's my gut.
Oh.
Not even thinking about it.
Should we hear a little bit of Peanut Butter and a little bit of Jelly?
Oh, perfect.
What's so Delane?
Delane is Peanut Butter, yes. I can't believe you know how to find songs on a record. I can never find a particular song.
Her name was Delane.
Not here yet, though.
She was the richest thing I ever did.
It's such a privilege to listen to this record on vinyl. It's so
She
cool.
caught my hand, covering
really
my mouth, and she forced me out. Opened me up like a country field, and I found myself lying.
All right, here comes the peanut butter.
Yeah, you're opening the jar.
Mm-hmm. And now we're spreading it.
Yeah, I get it.
Peanut butter.
That's very peanut buttery.
Yeah.
Okay, and which one, Kelly?
Colors of the Highway. Definitely grape jelly. For some reason, I associate colors with a lot of these songs, and purple blue is the color for this one.
I can taste the many colors of this highway. I'm gonna get there someday soon. Oh, I can taste the many colors of this highway. I'm gonna get there someday. The hand that feeds it moves so.
Yeah, there's the jelly.
Yeah, for sure.
So my turn to ask. Here we go. Oh, just a regular old serious question.
Yeah, all right, let's hear it.
All right. Honest to God answer, leading up to the record and making it, before we even had our first session, like going into it, what were your feelings? Like, what were you thinking?
Ooh. Well, I think I'd heard you play some songs that you'd written before. But then while we were traveling, I started hearing newer songs that you had just written. And they had this kind of quiet, confident urgency that I was really excited to try and make happen on tape. Like, I love when I put a record on and it sounds like the band just had to make that record. And your record felt very much, I was hoping that making that record would feel very much like that, like it would have an urgency to it, which I think it does. But what I was surprised by when we got there was how confident and even that urgency was. It was really surprising and really fun. Like, I was super confident in your ability and Sean's ability and my ability to like make good sounds with instruments. But I think one thing I didn't anticipate was like how specific your vision was and how close to your vision we got with your record. Like, I think we're like in the 99th, like 99.5-ish% of like, did someone do what they set out to do? Like, we're like right there.
Right there.
So
yeah.
Really exciting.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff I didn't even realize, you know, like that specific vision I didn't even know I had until we got in there, you know? And I was like, oh, this is exactly what I want, you know?
Yeah, that's what was cool about it. You weren't stressed about trying to make a statement. You were just being you. It was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, you guys all made it so easy because everyone was just so chill, you know, and like just giving the thing I appreciated the most. And I think back, I'm like, whoa, like how did I get so lucky with that crew, you, Mike, and Sean, as our kind of core group? How did I get so lucky with these guys and their, I don't know, just like desire to give the song what it wants and not feeding into like you said, ego or making a statement or, you know.
It was really wonderful because, you know, all three, you and Sean and Mike are, you know, intellectually and musically very savvy. And what I liked about it is we kind of brought a tour van, follow your heart mentality to the like, even though we could have been very like intellectual about the whole process, we really, you know, it was the four of us in a very small room and it was just really chill vibes and just let's go again. I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about a television director who, instead of calling action, he just says, go ahead. And I really, I like thinking about that, like someone saying just like, go ahead. And I felt like Mike, especially from the control booth, was very, go ahead about everything.
Yeah, totally. He was so chill. And the way he navigated that tape machine, I was like, oh, so grateful. He was so quick with it. It was like, you know, the magician.
What was it like to view your record from opposite sides of the country?
Oh, man. That's interesting. The first thing that comes to mind is that the middle section there when we tried to record Combustible Stars and that middle section was exactly the time where Kat and I had decided to like move like really quick. And so you picked me up from the airport and you were like, what's going on? And I was like, holy shit. It's like crazy. We decided to move across the country. We got a trailer. You know, it was like, I was so stressed in retrospect during all of that, just that little like 3-day session.
That's a lot of changes. Yeah.
It's a lot of changes. And that song in particular, it was ironic that that's the song that landed in that time, in that session, because it was in my opinion, the hardest one out of the whole shebang. So that transition, the move happened kind of like mid-record. And then that session in the middle there, I mean, of course we got some really great stuff, but I came out of it like, oh my gosh, like we didn't like finish the song even, you know. It just turned out to be pretty hard, and I was a little discouraged. And then kind of moving forward, I was like, all right, no, I have to finish this record. We're going to just go into it. We're going to go and have that confidence we had from the first session and just like make this thing. So that was like an interesting middle process. But yeah, I started the record in California and I finished it living in Charleston, which is interesting. I actually haven't ever thought about that and how different things felt. I mean, I guess most of it was already written, and it was written in the context of California, which of course in Santa Cruz, feeling very like creative and like explorative and free to be myself, and South Carolina and Charleston feels a little bit more in line with the Midwest feel, which is just like much slower pace. People, you know, get together a little more. There's less of the hustle. Like everyone doesn't have 3 jobs, and you know, it just has a more similar pace to the Midwest. But
all right, this is a serious question. Let's talk about your suit. This is a great suit. That's my question. This is a great suit.
That's your question? Thank you.
Let's talk about it. What colors are it? I'm so far away from my monitor.
Well, it's like this really old, like almost like 50s feeling fabric.
I love it.
And it has like this texture to it. And
like a little,
I was actually putting it on my closet that's falling apart right now. I was like, ooh, this looks great.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
And I got it in Oakland, California, at a thrift shop right before a show. And I went into the basement of this like huge thrift store, and they had so many like little treasures in this place. And I found this suit like tucked away in the corner, and it's very much handmade. It's like hand sewn, you can tell.
Oh wow. And
I was like, whoa, look at this suit. It's only like $10 or something crazy, you know? And I was like, definitely not gonna fit, you know? So I like am in the basement of this vintage shop, and I'm like, you know, taking my clothes off and putting the suit on, and and there are a few people like, what's that girl? What are you doing over there? And I put it on, and it was like a glove. It was just one of those moments in the thrift store where you're like, oh,
that's so. You know? Don't you miss thrifting? That's my real question.
My mom and I would go garage sailing, you know, just like from the newspaper, just like crossing off addresses.
On a Saturday in the Midwest?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You hit all the garage sales before noon, and then
dang,
village in for a piece of pie.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh, yep.
Rolling.
All right, there's another little spot in Delane where every time I hear it, honestly, at first I picked it out. I'm not sure where it happened or what point that sound got in there. But when I first picked it out, I was like, kind of like, oh man, like, what is that? What is that sound in there? And now I just love it because it sounds to me like someone blew a mini harmonica right into this little space. And I don't know where it came from because we definitely did not put it in there in the studio. So at some point, someone blew a mini harmonica on Delane. Okay.
Listen to it, and I want
little nuggets. I swear, there, you know, if you put some headphones on, you listen to that spot right there, there's like this little harmonica spot.
Should we turn it up and try and find it again?
Sure, yeah. Play that same spot.
Runaway was with a cold and salty love.
What is that?
It's a harmonica.
No.
I mean, that's what it sounds like. I don't know what else it could be.
Okay. Can we get you a harmonica that just plays one note?
Actually, I have a harmonica necklace, and I think I could play that note with it. So, like, maybe in my live shows, I'll be like, you know?
It would be great if... Sorry, I think I got so excited I peeked out the mic. It would be great if you were playing the song live. Was it cold and salty love? And then you just walked over.
And, you know, the great part about it is that no one's ever really going to hear it except for the people watching this video, you know? Because unless you point it out, you don't hear it. And I'm the only one with the kind of like bat ears with this record that was just like, what are all these sounds? Oh my gosh, you know, like dissecting everything, you know. The last lyric of my record is, the fire is not in the rich, it's in the fire that lights the ditch. And that I left it with that very intentionally, because I wanted people to understand that, yeah, I'm like recalling all these nostalgic memories, but I don't want to tie it up into like a little present with a little bow. I want people to feel the work that needs to be done. I feel it every day, and I need to be doing more, especially regarding white supremacy and the fight for, you know, racial equality in this country. And it's just such a pressing topic. And it's like, you know, I have experienced certain things in my life as a, you know, gay woman in the world, but I will never understand what it's like to be Black and to fear for my life. I will never understand that. And I just think it's important to remember that lyric, that the fire is not in the rich, and it's in what lights the ditch, which is, you know, a metaphor for, you know, really making change. And it's not just going to happen by like educating, you know, only educating ourselves, or like reading a couple books over the next 2 years, or, you know, it's going to take a lot more immediate action. And I'm still searching for, you know, my outlet and the way that I can contribute the best with the skills that I have. I'm still looking for that. And I think really what that means to me is I just need to get out there and start volunteering my time and doing more as a white person in this country. So, you know, the whole concept of like stepping aside and letting voices of you know, voices that have stories that are important to like kind of drift to the surface, as they are going to naturally anyway. And it just, you know, I think hearing those voices and those stories and understanding, truly understanding or trying to grasp the underbelly of this country, it's like, I mean, it's kind of mind-boggling, but being really transparent with that, you know, it's just seeing it and not trying to avoid it because it's, you know, it's because it's hectic and painful and full of grief for a lot of people in this country. So
we probably can't end our conversation today without talking a little bit about your cello playing.
I've been wanting to do that for so long.
It's fun to dance alone in your room to a cello solo.
Yeah, and I think I wanted to do that to represent how it feels to listen and play that solo. You know?